guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is B.fleye Beauty, and today I wanted to do kind of a year in review and some New Year's, I don't know if I want to call them resolutions, focus, goals, feelings. I don't know if you guys have heard of Danielle Laporte, but she got me into doing word of the year. Like, how do I want to feel this year? How do I want to feel this year versus last year? I will put up some of my past words of the year, but I will say my word of this year is fire. But I want to go through kind of just a quick review of how this year went before we get into 2026. I would say that I think 2025 was a year of survival for most people in my life, for most people surrounding me, in my workplace, in my friendships, in my church community. We all struggled with something kind of big this year, or I'll just leave it at that. We were in survival mode. Relationally, I thought the first half of the year was really, really good. Second half of the year, it always kind of tanks for me because the holidays are stressful, just like they are for a lot of people. And I lost my mom right before Thanksgiving about 6 years ago. And so, you know, those feelings come back. And like Freddie lost his brother in September a long time ago. And so like for us, the fall just gets kind of hard. And then now we're into like Christmas and the holidays, and it just exacerbates those feelings. And so even though we had a great holiday season, I think things just get a little rougher the second half of the year. And when it comes to work, it was the worst year I've ever had in real estate. So I was trying not to worry because I like to give my worries to God, but like I'm an anxiety-filled, worry-filled person, and I've always been this way. I'm really trying to work on that, but financially, it was very rough. Did I survive? Yes. Am I fine? Yes. So thank you, Jesus. We're good there. But I had a feeling that the year was going to go completely differently financially and for work. So this coming year, it's going to be so much better, and we'll get into that. But let me think. Okay, so work-wise is good. Oh, yes. So we just finished basically, like, I'm trying to think if it was the first full year or not, but I believe we've gotten very close to, if not hit a year mark with our new pastor. So spiritually, I was kind of wanting to try a new church before our old pastor left. And there was something that I felt like was missing, and I felt like I wanted something a little bit more liturgical. I wanted to learn about Advent. I wanted to learn about some of the other things that we do in the church that I did not grow up doing. So I was thinking about leaving for that reason, and a lot of changes happened. And so I was like, okay, God, where do you want me to be in this transition? And because I'm a comfort person, I decided to stay at the current church and wait out and really see how I jived with the new pastor, how the new worship leader was, what kind of processes, what kind of liturgical things is he going to be bringing in? How am I going to fit into this new church? And at first it was a little hard. It was a little weird. I do not like change. I'm a Taurus. I'm an INFJ. I'm a Enneagram 4. So if any of those things make sense to you, that says a lot about who I am. I do not like change. So I really had to force myself to be still in the transition, and turns out it's a great place for me to be. Is the pastor everything I want him to be? No. However, he is hitting the things that I have been looking for, and I feel like I'm very supported there. It's also very hard to change churches for me because it takes me a long time to build community. And I think it takes a lot of people, most people, it takes years to build a good community that you feel like you can feel supported by, like you can be genuine with. And so I really didn't want to leave that community, and a lot of those people have left, but there still is a core group of people there that I love and connect with, and I've actually built different friendships since this pastor with people that I've known but I've never been close with in the church. So all in all, it feels like a very good, I feel very at peace about staying at the church with the new pastor and the new worship leader, and I absolutely adore the new worship leader. He's so talented, and I know it's not about that, but I'm a musical person, so to have someone who is very talented is also just exciting. I'm just gonna say it, it makes it more exciting to go. I'm not gonna lie, like they brought back donuts and snacks. So, you know, if you were a kid going to church, you understand what I mean. I will always show up for that donut, okay? Anyway, so let's get into the new year. Okay, I did want to say very quickly that I usually do a video of all the things I got for Christmas, and this year I just wanted to put everything away. I love to decorate seasonally, and I take a long time to do it. Like, it's a process. I don't just put up one thing. It is a full home process. And so taking it down is also very exhausting. And I wanted to get it done very quickly this year. And so that included also putting away my gifts. But I will say that Freddie got me some incredible things, like very thoughtful things, like a new microphone to go with my phone when I'm doing vlogging videos. I got bath stuff. I got a new Bible, which I'm so freaking pumped about. I got some really fun, whimsical yard stuff, like light up mushrooms. There's a lot that I got, but I'm not going to be doing that video. Just know that, like, I always feel super blessed and super spoiled, especially from Freddie's family. They are really incredible when it comes to generosity. I also got like this really cool Elvira cookbook. I got a really cool Halloween platter. I got some other Halloween decor from people. Like, it's just nice to be seen, and my personality type, even though everybody wants to be seen, that is something that I really crave. It's not the gift, but it's like somebody really knowing who I am and what I love and what I'm about. And so the gifts really reflected that, and it felt very special to me. So it was a nice end to a very stressful year, I will say, but the decor is down except for the tree. We're gonna keep that up for maybe like another week or so, and then we'll take all the stuff down. But I wanted to keep up like all the greenery because I really love the sparkle and I really love the greenery. I just wanted all the color to come down. So I might even keep it like all the green garland up through the end of January and then start bringing more color in. But I feel like all the stress of the season and the year, I just like needed to clear it all out. So I'm ready for my fresh start. So let's talk about 2026. Okay, so I told you that my word of the year is fire. I want to be excited again about all areas of life. I get excited about a lot of things. I don't have a problem with being happy, being joyful, being positive, thinking the glass is half full. Like, that's how I live my life. But it was a stressful year. So I'm trying to get that fire back. When it comes to relationships, especially with Freddie, I want to have fun again. I want to have fun with my outfits. Like, I want bright colors and whimsical stuff, and I want my business to be on fire. So when it comes to word of the year, it's how do you want to feel? Everything relates to that one word. So I listed all those words before of my past ones, but every one of those, all my goals fall under the umbrella of that word. So everything I'm going to talk about goal-wise will fit under the word fire. So, so how I did categories this year is what felt good to me was what do I want to embrace, what things do I want to let go, and a couple of tangible action items that I want to complete by the end of the year. So we'll start with things that I want to embrace. I want to embrace slow mornings, which I have already done, with intention. So the new part is with intention. I want to wake up and I want to journal. I want to read a little bit of my new Bible. I want to do some stretches. And I haven't actually finalized how I want that morning to go. I don't want to put here's where I'm making the resolutions or goals different. I'm not setting an exact way I have to do things, but the feeling is intention. I want to feel on fire about how my mornings feel to me. I want to be excited about getting up. Though my mornings will stay slow, I don't just want to start working. I want to have intentional moments in my day. And so that will be fitting in some Bible, that will be fitting in some prayer and journaling, that will be fitting in some movement of body, which goes into the next thing, which is having a lot more fun with my activities. Like I want to go back to dancing more. Like a few months ago, I was dancing all the time. There's an amazing class at the gym. I want to bring in more childlike things that I loved as a kid. If you really think back at things that you loved as a kid, it really is the stuff you still like to do now. And why are we not doing those things? Like I want to dance more. I want to sing more. I want to just bring more whimsy in. And so I just want to embrace those things a little bit more. I talked about fashion. I want to bring whimsy into fashion. I want to feel good. I got into a rut of just, and I will say that like probably 50% of the time I will still be like this because I work mostly from home, 75% of the time I would say, where I love to wear either a baggy pair of like kung fu pants or leggings and a crew neck sweater. And that is comfort. I don't feel ugly. I feel happy. I feel cute. But when I'm out and about, I do want to put more effort into my style and my outfit because it does make me happy. And I want to be authentic with who I am and not care what anybody thinks. And so if that means mixing 27 patterns, oh, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm embracing the fun in fashion. I'm embracing the fun when it comes to activities that I did as a kid. I also want to read for fun. Last year, I got back into reading and I loved it, but I like had these goals, like I had to read a certain amount of books. I don't want to put that on me, put that on myself again. And that kind of goes back to like exact numbers. I'm not trying to do an exact number of books or an exact timing for my morning routine. I still want it to be relaxed and chill and as needed and as we go, but I just want to bring that fire back in. I talked about relationships a little bit, but I just want to laugh a little bit more with Freddie. I used to do that a long time ago. We just hit our 7-year anniversary and I don't want to get into like our relationship, but I will say that I have let myself just be kind of boring and like the responsible party. And when I am that person, I don't let fun in. I don't allow myself to laugh. And I just want to allow that back in. I just want to have a little bit more fun, relax a little bit more into my relationship. When it comes to letting things go, controlling other people's choices. And this is part of the reason that I have less fun is I feel very worked up about people's choices. And if they do not concern me, and that person is not getting hurt and they are not hurting anybody else, I'm gonna let it go because it does not matter. I am too anxious of a person. I am too much of a worrier to take on all of that because I feel things so deeply. It literally, one person's choice will keep me from sleeping, which is insane. I don't need to live my life like that. So my biggest thing that I want to let go is the anxiety I have around controlling people's choices. Like, even if I'm right, which I might be, I might not be, but I might be, right? Maybe that person's choice is really not good for them, but it isn't my choice. They're grown people. If it was an 8-year-old, different story, but I'm talking about adults. I don't need to control adults. If they're not hurting anybody, it's not my body, it's not my life. We're moving on, right, Sarah? We are moving on. We are not losing sleep over other people's choices. Comparison in my job, I have started to do this because I had a bad real estate year. And so I've just started comparing myself like I'm not doing enough. I'm not good at sales, which I will say, I've said this before, I actually do not see myself as a salesperson. I'm a relationship person. So I'm not going to be pushy about sales. Am I going to be a happiness bully? Yes, I will. I will always be that. But I want to stop comparing myself because I came into this business when everything was starting to die off from COVID. I did not get into the real estate during the craze. I came in after, and it has slowly died down, which means I'm slowly building up my clientele, but getting less business. So I am in a whole different journey than anybody else, and that's what I need to focus on. So that's a goal for me. It's just stop comparing myself. This kind of goes along with like controlling decisions, but timelines that don't matter. Like I will put something on myself that has nothing to do with anybody else. I'll say, okay, I need to get this craft done today. And I don't get the craft done, and now I'm an asshole. Like that timeline can move, right? I need to have things that have to get done that are time sensitive, and then other things that can get done. And that mostly comes from me not needing accountability. When I decide to do something, I will do it because I've made a commitment to myself. And so that feels like a broken commitment when I don't complete something that I wanted to complete on a certain timeline, even if it has nothing to do with anything important. So I really want to try and let that go. That's probably going to be pretty hard for me, but I think I've slowly been working on that, and I think this year is going to be very good on that. A little bit more go with the flow, which is weird because when I am on vacation, I love to go with the flow. I don't like a plan, but in real life, I just feel safer with like a controlled day, if that makes sense. Even though I have a flexible schedule now, I still have to have a controlled like timeline to feel safe and like comfortable. And I love my comfort and I love no change. So the change of a timeline rocks my system. So I have a lot of work to do there, but say a little prayer that I can do that successfully this year. And then I think this goes along the same thing, just the tightness of a schedule. So we're gonna let all that go. Things that I want to get completed this year, there's gonna be one that is very similar. It's not similar, it's the exact same one I've had since my mom died, and that is to make a will. But this year is my year. This is something I will need accountability on. So if you know me personally, send me a text weekly, Sarah, get your will done. And I will say that a lot of people think, oh, well, my family won't fight, or I don't have anything. I have nothing to my name. You need a will, okay? I don't want to go through my story again, but you need a will. Okay, I want to get to know my new Bible. I'm very excited about it. I've been carrying it around. I actually took notes in it today at church. And I have a physical Bible that I have lots of notes in that I've had probably for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. We'll go 20. But I wanted something new and exciting. It's kind of like getting new workout pants. Those new workout pants will make you go to the gym. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm excited about the new Bible. I want to get my name like done on the leather and at the front. I don't know when I'll get that done, but I want to be excited about that. So I want to make a solid effort to be opening that. And I think that will be part of my morning routine. My focus this year is, for the first time, not losing weight, but to focus on muscle building, which I started last year, but just wasn't super consistent. And the one thing that I've not been touching is mobility. As we grow older, like I'm in my mid 40s, we can really feel the years catching up with us, like when we get up off the floor, things like that. I never want to be the person that can't get up. I don't want to be the person that can't like push myself up off the floor. So mobility and muscle is the focus health-wise this year. I went ahead and redid my Jordan Syatt inner circle workout for the year, so I paid for it. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into those workouts, and I'm pretty excited about it. And let's see. Oh yes, the last thing is, Freddie brought this to my attention and really helped with this. And so I really want to do some more pop-ups with my vintage stuff, markets, and maybe even get a booth or a shelf monthly, where I pay monthly at a spot and I can fill that shelf. And I think I've just been very scared of putting myself out there in that way. And I think this year is my year to like put myself out into the world publicly and not just online. I'm very nervous about that though. I'm excited, but I'm nervous because Charlene, Freddie's mom, she started a candle business. She retired the end of last year and her business is already booming. And so we've been doing some joint things together, or we started to, we've done one, and we're going to continue to do those. And so I'm very excited. I think having someone along with me has really helped like get me excited and more brave to do the things. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you guys do a word of the year. Do you do goals? Do you do resolutions? What do you do? The thing about my word and resolution and goal and action items and all of that is very few of those have an exact timeline or exact way they need to be done. I think giving myself flexibility and grace and timing, openness to have all these things happen is going to make it a lot easier. It's more about how I feel and working on what I can control versus what everybody else is doing. So anyway, I think that's it. Let me know if you guys do word of the year, and if you do, what is your word of the year? Put it down below. Or if you do some sort of other New Year's resolutions. I do find it weird that we do this in the winter, because winter is supposed to be rest. So that's part of the reason that I'm not pushing too hard on exact numbers and exact times and all of that, because really springtime is growth and renewal, right? So it's okay if like it doesn't start right away tomorrow, you know what I mean? And it's okay for you too. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.